Hey, this is Cliff Townsend, Book Writers Academy Speaking Master Academy. In previous videos, I've talked to you about the introduction and that your introduction is the most important part of your speech. The reason why, like I've said to you before, is because it sets the tone for your speech. This is how you're going to get your audience engaged. If you can't get them within the first 15 to 30 seconds, you've really lost your audience. However, I've seen experienced and inexperienced speakers make mistakes constantly when it comes to their introduction, right? And so in this short video, I'm going to go over a few things that you should never ever do in your introduction. You know, introduction is so important. I really feel that I'm doing you an injustice with these short videos. I really feel I need to do a full training on just the introduction alone. So I'm thinking about that I'm going to do a webinar, but as of right now, I'm going to do these 3 things that you should never do in the introduction. And these are things that I see all the time from experienced and inexperienced speakers. The first thing is this: never start with an apology tour. What is an apology tour? It's an apology tour where you started by apologizing for something. You're apologizing for being late. You're apologizing for not being prepared. Don't apologize for not being prepared, because here's what you're saying to your audience. I didn't feel like you're important enough for me to take time to really prepare this presentation for you. And here's what they hear. So I'm giving up my most valuable time, my most valuable asset, my time, and you didn't even respect that enough for you to prepare yourself. So don't start by telling your audience that you're not prepared. And I've heard this done before. Even if you're not prepared, don't tell them. I understand there are times when you may be called upon unexpectedly and you truly are not prepared. But don't tell them you're not prepared. This is a time when most people say, well, you know, I apologize, but I'm not good at public speaking. Don't apologize for not being good at public speaking. If you're going to do public speaking, just do it. Don't tell them that you're not good at it, because you're setting a very low expectation. So what you're saying, here's what you're saying: I'm not good at what, there's not much value that you're going to get from what I'm about to tell you. And here's what they hear: there's not much value I'm going to get from listening to you. So I might as well busy do something else. I might get on my phone. I might as well block you out, because I'm not going to get much value from what you're about to tell me. So don't start your speech with an apology tour. The second thing is this, which I hear so many experienced and inexperienced speakers do. Don't start your speech with good day, good morning, good evening. How are you doing? Come on, really? Is that the best you have? Here's what most speakers do. Good morning. The audience say good morning. And they say, come on, you can do better than that. Good morning. And the audience says good morning a little bit louder. Have you ever been in a room like that before? Yes, I bet you have. Here's the thing. Instead of eliciting a false sense of excitement, how about you create a sense of excitement for your audience? How about you give them something to be excited about? How about you give them something to be intrigued about? How about you give them something to be curious about? How about you start with a question, a joke, a statistics, something that they don't know? How about you give them something to be intrigued about instead of good day, good morning? Because you've blocking them out, because they think, oh my God, here comes another boring speech. Good morning. They're going to ask me to say good morning again, and I'm going to, pretend that I'm excited. What are they to be excited about? You've only walked out and all you've done is said good morning. You've not given them anything to be excited about. So don't be creative in your opening. Don't start with good day, good morning, good evening. Be more creative. So that's number 2. Here's number 3. Never, ever, ever allow the person that's introducing you to write your introduction. Always prepare your own introduction. Even if you send your introduction ahead, come prepared with a copy. It's the reason why they may lose it. They may misplace it. You are prepared. No problem. Here you go. I don't care if it's your brother, your mother, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, your best friend, your husband, or your wife. I don't care if you feel like they know you the best. Don't leave it up to chance. Bring and prepare your own introduction. Nobody knows what you're going to say better than you do. Nobody knows your story better than you do. You prepare your own introduction. Remember, this is the most important part of your speech. This is what's setting up your audience for what's about to come. Your introduction is the trailer to the movie. Have you ever seen a trailer to a movie? And based on that trailer, you decided whether you wanted to watch the movie or not watch the movie? That's your introduction. Why leave that up to somebody else? Don't ever leave your introduction up to somebody else. Bring your own introduction and write your own introduction. I said I was only going to give you 3, but I'm going to give you 4. Here's the tip number 4. always, if and when possible, have somebody introduce you. Let me just ask you this question, and you'll figure out the reason why. When was the last time you saw somebody important that did not get introduced, that they introduced themselves? Yeah, let me answer that for you. The answer is never. If you've ever seen anybody important give a speech, somebody always introduced them. So let me ask you this question. Do you think what you have to say is important? Do you think you're important? Yeah. So if so, then get somebody to introduce you. I don't care if it's somebody that's in the audience. They say, listen, could you just read this introduction for me just real quick? Or could you just introduce me? But always get introduced. So let's go over those 4 tips again. Don't start with an apology tour. Don't do the good day, good evening thing. Always write your introduction, and if and when possible, have somebody introduce you. Hey, this is Cliff Townsend, Book Writers Academy, Speaking Mastery Academy, and I'll see you in the next video.